So this method, this mode of weight loss, particularly fat loss, is just insanely unreal. I sit around most of the time. I don't train all the time. Really, when I post something up with my training on this channel, that's me working out, that's me walking. I focus and I adhere to the principles of protein. If anything, on paper, you would think I overdo that. But in the past, what I've seen, and some research from MIT that goes way back, is if you accompany all of your meals with full spectrum amino acid protein, you're going to lose weight. And when I put this to practical use about 15 years ago, I saw a dramatic difference. And so that's what I kind of naturally go back into. Also, I would like to be able to stay on these fasts for prolonged periods of time that exceed 10 days. But 10 days seems to be the perfect amount of time. I'd also like to be able to go right back in from my 10-day fast and be able to just take a day or two and go back in. But listening to my body, I end up eating things like rice and oatmeal that provide me plenty of fiber and what I consider high-quality carbohydrates to replace glycogen. Once I've done that for about 5 days, and this is my 4th or 5th day doing that, I feel 100% carbo loaded, as they say, and ready to do another 10 days of fasting. So I'll lose, I'll gain, but I'll never gain back in the same place that I lost. It's because at certain set points, you're going to lose fat in certain areas more predominantly. In other words, if the highest concentration is around your lower belly, for women it's more hips, men it might be, and women it'll be around in the chest area. You start to lose in the arms, you're losing in the neck, you're losing in the chest, and then last you're losing down in the lower abdominal area and the hips for most women. Some men tend to gain like that as well. Genetically, when you gain back, you're not going to gain back in those problem areas because you were so much heavier, or you were sedentary, or you reached a certain stage of obesity where you're in a decreased muscle composition, decreased blood circulation, blood flow, decreased activity level, so you start to put on fat in areas that are indicative of that sedentary lifestyle where you're taking in more calories, and then it's just like you're on the losing end. So don't be afraid, in other words, to eat carbohydrates. They're not evil. You're not going to just gain back where you just lost. And that's like this undulation where you lose, you gain, you lose, you gain, you lose, you gain. And over time, doing these cycles, you're in an anabolic state where you're building up muscle tissue. You're taking in supportive nutrients for that muscle and really to keep a higher nitrogen balance. That's what all this protein does, this full spectrum protein, is it creates this atmosphere that is rich in nitrogen. So thinking about things from a little more critical standpoint can have negative repercussions. Trusting the diet and just going, I'm going to do 5 to 10 days of fasting. It takes you 1 day to get back down to 50% glycogen load, and then it takes you a whole nother day to get down into like 25%, and it takes you a whole nother day to exhaust that glycogen and start to have to rely on fats, where you go into ketosis, ketones are produced, and even more so, several days after that, once you feel that metabolic stimulus start to occur, your endocrine system's kicking in, you're still on your fast, that's where you can flit in and out of gluconeogenesis or GNG. Talk to you later. I'll be looking forward to showing you some awesome results.